Hello. No, weird. Hi. So, I feel like it's practically become a meme that there's a certain group of guys who've made love for John Mayer a personality trait. And I'm not going to pretend I'm not one of those people because the man can make fucking tunes, alright? Leave me alone. But anyway, for all the streetwear loving, guitar playing, blues listening, singer songwriter bros out there, they understand the massive man crush that we communally have over this man. So without making any more excuses for myself, here's the story. Yesterday when my internet was out, I put John Mayer's The Search for Everything on the record player and thought about the fact that I was turning another year older. Some of the songs and lyrics hit really close to home, and I thought it'd be a fun video idea for me to share with you all of the things that I thought about as I pondered turning 27 through the lens of John Mayer's The Search for Everything, beginning with moving on and getting over. It's taken so damn long to come to terms with the fact that life isn't black and white. I come from a generation of boys whose first response to a bad relationship is shutting your now ex-partner out of your life and painting them as crazy both in your head and in all your stories, and I'm glad that I'm with someone now who will not stand for that nonsense and who was willing to call me out on it and explain that maybe, just maybe, I could also have been making mistakes and hurting the people I loved. You know, the whole common denominator thing. Because sometimes it's just so much easier to shield yourself from hurt by convincing yourself that the world as you see it is the world as it is, and it's embarrassing to get called out for having your head up your own ass, but I feel like it's just a part of growing up and learning more and doing better. And beyond that, I understand that sentiment of moving on with your life and still having these irreconcilable feelings towards someone from your past. I mean, shit, I've been married for 3 years and we've been to hell and back a couple times, but I think about ex-girlfriends sometime, and the old me would always think that this was wrong, that somehow, I don't know, the thought of someone I loved crossing my mind was just the beginning of a spiraling road towards infidelity, because why else would you even think about them, right? Well, apparently that's not right. Turns out all those ways of thinking were pretty completely unhealthy, and thanks to a shit ton of therapy, antidepressants, and unlearning what it means to be a man. So hello, I am back. I had to run, my food got here, everything sucks, notifications on my phone's running out of power. But I'm going to try and wrap this up as quickly as possible so that I can go and eat. But what I was saying was, apparently those ways of thinking aren't right. They are completely unhealthy. And thanks to a shit ton of therapy, antidepressants, and unlearning these outdated ideas of what it means to be a man and just how to be in a relationship, I've managed to come to these new revelations about how to be happy and how to be emotionally vulnerable whilst maintaining my independence and autonomy. And as I've taken this wrecking ball to the walls that I'd built around my heart, I've also torn down those monuments to the monsters that I'd made out of ex-lovers and the unflattering portraits that I'd spray painted on those walls of ex-best friends, soulmates that I don't speak to anymore. I've had to come to terms with the fact that I too will always be the villain to someone, and all I can do is try and live as true to myself in this moment as I possibly can, and hope that's good enough. Which then brings me to the next song and lyric, which is Changing. And I've been thinking a lot lately about how as we get older, we continue to change in ways that I couldn't even have imagined. On a microcosmic scale, I became disabled this past year due to struggling with chronic illness in the form of long COVID. And this past year, I've spent months in pain, in tears, and in emotional turmoil, trying to come to terms with the fact that all the dreams I once had, such as acting, adventuring, and such, may no longer be possible. Hell, last week was the first time I was able to walk to the local plant nursery, and that was the biggest achievement I've had health-wise in an entire year. And in thinking about what I've managed to do with my life since being diagnosed with long COVID and the person I am today, I've learned to recognize that I can't hold on so tightly to the dreams that I once had. I can't believe in the American dream and the stable 9-to-5, the nuclear family with a white picket fence. So many of those things have just become dead dreams, but I'm beginning to recognize that even if those dreams were to come true now in some sort of form or other, I wouldn't even want them. None of them. And throughout this past year of the many deaths of the man that I once was, I feel like I've also been rebirthed as someone who's just a little bit happier with themselves. And I found that feeling to be so revolutionary, the sense that maybe happiness comes from just being more present with my surroundings, my loved ones, and myself, as we explore the changes that we're all undergoing and trying to fall in love with ourselves and each other a little more each and every day. In the blood. In the fight to claw myself out of self-loathing and into a space where I can love myself, I've had to reckon with the fact that I am my parents' child. This has meant so much unlearning of toxic beliefs and belief systems pushed onto me in the name of religion, conservativeness, and fear. And it's meant drawing more concrete boundaries and sometimes the difficult task of cutting a family member out of my life entirely, because no matter how much I can hope for things to improve, sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is just walk away. And that goes against everything that I was taught growing up about the value of family, about the ideas that when it really matters, there's not going to be anybody around for you but your family. And this goes against the constant repetition of the phrase, blood is thicker than water, but a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, because by now, we've all seen the memes and know that the rest of the saying is blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. But simultaneously to all of this, whilst my mother was trying to instill in me the boundless love and forgiveness that she attempted to demonstrate, I somehow picked up the idea that family was truly who was around you to support and uphold you in your darkest hour, that it was the people that we chose to make a community with. And I'm moving forward and trying to find my family, whether that be made up of the blood that I was born into or friends walking these parallel paths who are choosing to walk hand in hand with me. And most importantly, I'm accepting that my decision to do so doesn't mean I won't ever miss familial love or long for the acceptance and pride of a father who is incapable of it. And I want to reassure you that if you're going through something similar, where you've like distanced yourself from your family and are upset at yourself at the sudden pangs of nostalgia and loneliness that come from missing your loved ones, don't be. It's human. It's part of human relationships and of being alive and growing up. And just remember that sometimes your preservation and growth are more important than relationships people tell you are supposed to matter. You're going to live forever in me. Most of all, I feel like I'm finally in a point of my life where I'm living for myself. I'm willing to make mistakes as long as they are my mistakes and are decisions made to propel me in the direction that I want to go. I'm not going to be this young and beautiful forever. But seriously, someone asked me today if I was excited to be turning 27, and I am. And then they asked me why, and honestly, I'm not sure I could put the answer into words, but it amounts to something along the lines of, with everything that I've been through lately, feeling like I'm living in a world where I only keep losing things. On my search for everything, I found myself. A version of myself that I'm happy to be, and right now, that's good enough for me. And I hope that this helps you find that for yourself too. So thanks so much for listening to this and for giving of your time and your energy. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and share it with a friend or a loved one who you think may also enjoy this, or is a giant John Mayer fan, or is John Mayer himself. I know I dropped a lot of stuff here today, but I plan on taking a lot of things that I mentioned and turning them into full videos. So if you want more personal content, video essays, and poetry, then sub and click the bell icon to be notified when I post next. There was something in particular you heard me say that you want to hear more about, let me know in the comments so I know which videos to make first. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, thanks for your time, and thanks for being you. Until next time, peace.